In this video, I'm going to teach you how to come back from taking big L's in business. If you're anything like me, you've been in business for a while, or even if you're just starting out and things just aren't going as planned and you're getting frustrated, this is perfectly normal. I've taken some huge losses in any one of my multiple businesses that I've scaled over the last 10 years. These things happen for a reason, and as an entrepreneur, business owner, CEO, founder, bouncing back from these can sometimes be the difference between you exiting for 10 million and you quitting and going back to your 9 to 5. First things first, let me tell you a story. So I've been working on a product now for almost 2 years, tried to meticulously curate the product so it's perfect. We kind of did everything right from a research and development side of things. And then when it came to launch, everything just went wrong. One thing after another. So we had a launch planned, timing perfect, and then there was issues with the print, which delayed it. Then there was issues with delivery, and then the wrong product came and then it sent to the wrong place. And then our emails, all of the launch sequence went out at the wrong time, and then all of our customers were kicking off. So it was just an absolute nightmare, basically, okay? So that's almost like 2 years of work and hype dissipated. Now, it's not completely dead in the ground, of course, but as a business owner, or at least a small business owner, yeah, if you're doing less than 20 million a year, you're still in that small business owner category, then it can be quite painful and very frustrating. How do I deal with it? So the first thing that I want you to think about the next time you have a big loss or things just aren't going right or they haven't gone right, I want you to take full accountability for whatever's gone wrong. And just to drive this point home, taking accountability for things that you haven't done wrong. For example, the courier's lost your parcel, okay? There's nothing technically I could do, right? I'm not involved in picking and packing. Like, we're using like literally one of the biggest distribution companies in the world, and it still got lost. The thing is with being a CEO and entrepreneur, it's always your fault. And the second that you give any locus of control to anything external to yourself means you're basically handing them power over your business, over your life. So taking accountability, like, it doesn't matter what happens, all right? It is always your fault. There is always something somewhere you could have done to change this or to prevent it from happening, okay? And if you're pointing fingers or you're playing the blame game, it doesn't help anything. You're in victim mindset. And as we know, being in a victim mindset is not going to move you forward. It's going to anchor you in the present. You're just going to get more and more frustrated. You're going to get really angry. And it's a zero-sum game, because guess what? Whatever's happened. Are you just going to be in your piss pot and cry and moan about it? Or are you going to say, okay, let's be proactive. Don't get me wrong. Like, allow yourself 5 minutes to vent, okay? Feel the emotion. It's fine. But then it's back into CEO mode and, okay, so that this doesn't happen next time, where did I go wrong? What control mechanisms can I put into place so that this never happens again? And what you find is the perceived L technically should never happen again now. So actually, you've turned the L into a W, okay? It's now a win. You've been able to set up better, more robust and strict systems so that whatever went wrong, this can never happen again, which means, in looking at it from a macro picture, from a 20,000 foot view, you've patched a potential hole now that when you get to an even bigger level of scale, this is never going to happen again, okay? So again, the perception of something going catastrophically wrong, actually, it's something that you can use and move forward. And even if it's not in this business, if it's something down the line, if it's the business after this, or if there's any life lessons you can learn from it for your personal, whatever went wrong, if you take accountability, if you don't play the blame game, this will actually develop you and help you move forward. And again, it's all about mindset. It's all about the lens you view the world through, okay? So the thing on the back of this is, again, if you can read my handwriting, board writing, it's learnings. You're always looking for the learnings, but always constantly in the science, like the science mode of, okay, now I know what not to do. Perfect. I know what to do that. So now I know what to do. Okay, so it's just all a matter of mental reframing, and you're just constantly looking for learnings, right? Looking for things that you now know what not to do, okay? It's inevitable. If you don't play the blame game, if you don't, as I said, you don't take things personally as well, particularly so in life and business, because generally 9 times out of 10, it is just business. If you implement and learn from these things, it can't happen, okay? It will make you a better operator. It will make your business way more streamlined operationally, okay? So there's good that can come from this if you choose to see and look for the good. That's the key, all right? On the back of it, it says dwell And the reason I put dwell is because I don't want you to dwell on it. I don't want you to ruminate on it. I don't want you to obsess and just be complaining and pissing and moaning to everyone, to your wife, to your family, to the dog. I don't care, yeah? Like, it's okay to vent, but you have to cap it. You have to stop, okay? Because it's negative energy, it's bad vibration. You're putting that out, you're gonna get more of it back, okay? Again, just universal principles that all are interconnected in life and business. And whatever you give attention to, you're probably going to get more of it anyway. It's particularly so if it's negativity or bad vibes or you're complaining, it doesn't come back. It's not good karma. So again, allow yourself a bit of time to be frustrated, no problem. But okay, now back into proactive mode. How can we fix this? This is it. Remember, in business, the focus is always solutions, not problems. Most people like to talk about problems. They're very negative. No one wants to hang around that person. And you can't, as a business owner, be constantly focused on problems. Yes, you can talk about them, but you talk about them in a light-hearted manner. Haha, this happened the other day. Can you believe it? You have to. Sometimes you have to laugh about it. It's like so crazy. The timeline and events, or sometimes the craziness of the thing that's gone wrong. It's hilarious when you look back on it. It's just so frustrating in the moment. So just don't dwell. Move on. Move past it, okay? Look for the lessons. Hopefully no one's died. Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. How reversible is it? What learnings can we take from it? What can we do next time to make sure this doesn't happen? And again, just it's all about the lens you view it through, okay? Third thing to do, this kind of links into not dwelling on it, but it basically says take action. So it's not moaning, it's not complaining, it's okay. Right, this has happened, it's happened, all right? We can't do anything about it. So now what can we do? What options do we have on the table to mitigate risk? What things can we do to stop any second or third or fourth order consequences trickling through from this, all right? No one's coming to save you. No one's going to do this for you. It's up to you to make clear decisions, all right? Decision making, key skill as an entrepreneur. And if you're not taking action on it, if you're just burying your head in the sand, it's the worst thing you can do. And sometimes emotionally, it can feel like that's just what you want to do. You just want to block out all the noise, hide from it. But guys, it's not going to solve the problem, all right? Have to do something, take action, right? And just be in that solutions, not problems mindset, as much as it's probably very tempting for you just to kind of ruminate over it and complain and pass the blame. Just don't do it, all right? Look for the small micro steps that you can do to try and start to reverse things, okay? Because once you get down this path, this is when things get good again. But you have to take action, you have to do something, okay? Next one, this is, if you can read it again, it says perspective. And this is something I never want you to lose track of as an online business owner, just business owner in general. It's just having a broader perspective and just looking at things from that 20,000 foot view. Because sometimes when you're very granular with things that go wrong can seem catastrophic. It can seem like, okay, this is it, this is the end. But once you take a step out, you realize, oh, okay. And sometimes it's only looking back on this in retrospect that you realize you thought this was like the end of the world, when actually it wasn't. It was just a dip. That was it. It was just a dip. It was a temporary dip. But the thing is, when you get perspective, is you need to be able to take action on the back of it. And when you zoom out of things, you look at the bigger picture, you realize, okay, this might be one step back so that I can take two forward. But if you're in it, if you're like immersed and you're ruminating, you're just complaining and can't see your way through, this is when you get stuck. This is when you're in that kind of analysis paralysis, or everything's happening to me. Just remember, things don't happen to you if you decide that they don't. You happen to things. That's the difference. That's the mindset shift. And things either happen to you or for you and through you. And as Chief Executive Officer, whatever you want to call yourself, business owner, founder, it's up for you to transmute this energy, this creative energy, into looking for creative solutions. So getting perspective, taking a step out of it, looking at the bigger picture. Is this catastrophic? Probably not. It's probably just like a minor step back, but it just feels like this in the moment. So don't get too caught up in it. Don't listen too much to your emotions, and do not be reactive, particularly so when it comes to suppliers or vendors or customers. If there's a nasty email coming through, write a reply, but don't send it. Write it, save it in the draft, come back to it tomorrow with a fresh head. And just remember, this is all about being diplomatic, and it's all about kind of being peaceful and still being friendly, okay? And sometimes when you remove emotion from it and you give time, you're able to get a broader perspective and not be so reactive in the moment. Okay, just like having this broad perspective is so important. It's like sometimes you realize as well, like I said before, it seems bad, but looking back on it, actually, the things that go wrong, I'm going to say 9 times out of 10 actually become the best thing that ever happened, because these are the things where it forces you to grow and evolve through it. It's just in the moment, it just doesn't seem like that. Yeah, and I don't know if you have any examples in your own life where you found something that, like, I don't know, like losing a job, for example. I remember when I was trying to run my ecom business on the side and working a full-time job, I got fired. And at the time, that was like the worst thing that could possibly happen. My business wasn't properly revenue generating, still didn't know what I was doing. I had a single source income from a full-time job, which was horrific in sales. And because it was quite clear my attention wasn't on it, I was kind of causing a bit of revolt in the way that I was working as well. Just kind of being so efficient and not being the results by volume approach, which just didn't fit in the culture. I was kind of dangerous to have there, so they fired me. And that at the time, it's like the rug pulled, and that was like, I'm scrambling, I don't know what to do, I'm panicking. But now looking back, if that didn't happen, I would never have left that job, ever. I wouldn't. I might have jumped from another one maybe, but I would never have had the balls to actually just quit there and then. And when that happened, this is what incentivized me to get out and look for investment. If that event didn't happen, I would never have had enough inspiration and drive to get it. So my point is, with perspective, when you look back at things, whatever seems to be really bad or catastrophic actually can end up, if you look at it through the right lens and you take action, 9 times out of 10, it becomes the best thing that ever happens to you, because it sends you on a completely different route and it forces you to take action. Okay, so just trying to add more anecdotes in here, because things go wrong. They go wrong all the time, but there are learnings from them if you choose to see them, and it is always a choice. I'm going to make a word up here. What's it be? I'm not going to write it, it's just too far down. But basically, I think it's actually in the English dictionary. It's called bounce back ability. And I think it is actually in the Oxford Dictionary. So the concept of bounce back ability is your ability to take, just again, like imagine taking jabs in the ring, in the boxing ring, okay? You're taking hits, taking body shots, you get punched in the face, you're on the floor, but you get back up. This is life in business. You're constantly taking hits from all over, but the thing is that the bounce back ability builds in you. It's like a bit of a litmus test from life to see, are you worthy of this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? And also, how much shit are you willing to go through and tolerate to get that? Because most people, the second it gets hard, they just quit. The second they take a big L, they just quit. And this is why 99.9% will never be successful, because they expect it to be easy, and also they cannot deal with failure. You have to reframe failure in life and business. It's not failure, nothing. Like Churchill's good quality, failure is not final, right? It's always comes down to you being able to get a broader perspective and get knocked down and just continue to get back up, and just switch in mindset to expecting bad things to happen, but just knowing that it's always going to be a decision for you to either succumb and you're knocked down and you stay down, or you just keep getting back up, you just keep pushing back. And every time you get back up, you get stronger, okay? You become more mentally resilient. It's character building. And you know, to become or to achieve extraordinary things, you also first need to become extraordinary yourself. And that can be, most times for this sort of stuff, it's all having and developing an extraordinary mindset. It's all the lens that you view the world through. So mindset is the meta skill here, and just being able to reframe things, not getting too caught up in the emotion, and then getting to a point where actually this was probably my fault. I could have done more. I could have done something different. I could have done something better. So what is originally perceived as a loss can then be reframed as one of the best things that ever happened to you, because it makes you a better operator. It will make for a better business for you. It will help you make better decisions. You're going to be mentally strong, resilient. Your business on the back of that is also going to become more robust, because you're patching things all of the time. Yeah, you're making sure that bad things can only happen once, and that's it. Now it's patched. That should never happen again. So actually, in the bigger picture, it's moving you forward. But if you take anything from this business, just remember, doing anything meaningful is difficult. you're going to take L's. You're going to take multiple L's. And generally, a reward for overcoming a problem in life and business is a bigger problem. New level, new devil. So just expecting that. But every time you overcome this new devil, if you overcome it, you're stronger, you're more experienced, which means the next level boss, you have way more capacity, you're way more capable, you have way more self-belief in the fact that you've conquered everything today, so why not this one? And I truly believe life will never throw something out that you can't get past. It's just up to you to make the decision that you're actually going to push through. So yeah, if you want to be successful in life and business, this is a huge meta skill. So if ever you're feeling down, if there's bad things happening, just know this is probably a sign you're on the right path. So yeah, just stick at it and do not quit. Whatever happens, you don't quit. Any questions? If you're going through a tough time, stick it in the comments. I'll get back to you personally. And just know this is just all part of the journey. So stick at it, okay? I'll see you in the next video.